So to my surprise, I get quite a few clients who don't already have a website, or they don't have a very good website for their business. So in this video, I just want to break down how you can create a website if you're an absolute beginner, and how you can create not just a website so you have an online presence, but a website so that you, number one, look good when people look you up online, and number two, so that you can use your website to actually generate more leads and get more business from your website. Because you don't just want a website to sit there collecting cyber dust and then not do anything with it, but you need a website that actually allows you to get more clients and generate more business. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that, and I'm going to take you through step by step everything you need to do to get started. So the first thing that you're going to need is a domain name. Now, if you already have a domain name, that's great. You can just go ahead and use that one. But if you don't yet have a domain name, you'll need to purchase one. So a domain name is what you're basically going to call your website. So for example, my domain name is skylinesocial.com. So whenever someone types in skylinesocial.com, they can find my website. So you have your domain name and then you have your website. They're two sort of separate things, but they're kind of linked. So with your domain name, you want to choose something that, number one, doesn't have a lot of hyphens, doesn't have a lot of words, it's easy to remember, and something that you can easily say to people if you want them to check out your website. So if, for example, my website was, and it's not this, but if it was, socialmedialeadgeneration.com, and there was a hyphen between all of those words, it will be very hard for me to explain to people what my website is, because they wouldn't know if there's a hyphen or not, and there'd also be quite a few different words. Whereas if you can just pick maybe 2 or 3 words, sometimes you can stretch it to 4, but the less words you use, the better. That can always help. And with a domain name, it's always useful if you can include some words that are descriptive about what it is that you actually do. Now, this isn't 100% necessary, but it can help if you can do that as well. Now, step 2 is to find a web host or use some kind of online website builder. Now, if you are pretty technical, or maybe if you're looking to hire a web design company or a web developer to help you, then I would recommend just going with their recommendation, because they're the ones that are going to be taking care of the whole process for you, so you don't really have anything to worry about. But if you're doing this yourself, the easiest option, if you're not very technical, is to find some kind of online website builder. With an online website builder, you can pretty much build your own website using templates that they provide you, and all you need to do is drag and drop the images and the text and everything that you want to do with your website, and you can make it look however you want it to look within reason, and you don't need any technical skills. So this is a really good option if maybe you're on a budget and you want to have full control of your website and you want to be able to edit the website yourself. So when it comes to choosing a website builder, there are lots and lots of different options for you these days. 2 of my favorite options are either number 1, Squarespace, or number 2, Rocketspark. Now, for most of my clients, we use Rocketspark, but like I said, there are a lot of different options for you when it comes to choosing an online website builder. The reason I like Rocketspark is simply because they have a really good support team. So it's a little bit of a smaller company compared to some of the bigger companies like Squarespace. So you get more personal help and support when it comes to creating your website if you get stuck or if you have questions. And also the other reason is that the Rocketspark websites come built SEO friendly or search engine friendly out of the box. So Rocketspark is a good recommendation. If you want to get a free trial of Rocketspark, because I've partnered with them, I can get you a 60-day free trial, so you don't even have to pay anything. You can try it for free for 60 days. You can build your whole website, see what it's like, see if you like it, and then if you do like it, you can continue to pay for the web hosting and maintenance, which is roughly about $30 a month. Now, step 3 is once you've chosen your website builder and your web host and what you're going to do to actually build your website, you now actually need to build your website. You now need to start putting the content on there, the pages, and building everything out. So this step 3, is really about adding content to your website and building out the pages. So if you haven't yet done this step, then I would recommend getting everything ready beforehand. So getting all the content for the different pages ready, the images ready, so that when you do have your website with the website builder you want to use, you can pretty much just copy and paste everything into the website builder, which is going to save you a bit of time and also make your life a little bit easier. Now, step 4, once you've done that, you pretty much by now have a website that is almost ready to go live. But before you do that, you need to make sure you optimize your website for search engines. So how can you do that? Well, I'm not going to go into detail into every little thing you need to do. I'm just going to talk about some of the main things that I would recommend that you do. So the first main thing that I recommend that you do is you optimize the meta tags. So on your website, you're going to have the title and description tags, which basically tells Google what your pages are about. And I have another video which goes through in more detail how you can optimize your website meta tags, which I'll include a link to the description if you want to check that out. But essentially, you just want to optimize the meta tags for every page on your website, just so it can help you have a search engine friendly website if anyone types in keywords related to what it is that you do. Now, this on its own isn't going to be enough to help you rank higher on Google if you are trying to rank higher on Google for a lot of competitive search terms. So if you're trying to rank for some search terms that has a decent amount of competition, then you're going to have to do a little bit more than just optimize your meta tags. So you should always optimize your meta tags just as a best practice and as a standard. But if you want to rank higher for more competitive terms, you need to do more than that. So what else do you need to do? Well, one important thing that you need to do is create content. And when I say create content, I'm talking about creating blog content. And what kind of blog content do you need to create? Well, you need to create content that people are typing in Google. So if people are typing in questions related to your business and how you can help people, you need to be answering those questions in your blog posts. So if people are typing in Google questions related to your business or the services that you can provide, then you need to be answering those questions in different blog posts on your website. By doing this, you'll be able to rank higher for these different search terms or these different questions that people are searching for on Google. And then the last step is to optimize your website to generate leads. And this is actually one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make. I see them, create a great looking website and they optimize it for search engines and everything looks great, but then they don't optimize it for leads. So why do you want to optimize your website for leads? And what does that even mean, optimizing your website for leads? Well, when it comes to optimizing your website for leads, what I'm saying is you need to optimize your website so that you can actually get business from your website. Now, what most people do is they have a contact us page. And they think when someone goes to the website, if they want to work with you, they'll just click on the contact us button and they'll reach out to you. And yes, some people will do that. But the majority of the people that visit your website, they're not going to do that. They're not going to go to your contact us page. And the reason for that is because they don't really trust you yet. And that's a big problem. If people find your website and they don't trust you, they're just going to leave. Maybe they're just doing research right now, or maybe they're just looking at different options. But most people that visit your website and they find you online, if they're not coming from a referral, if they just find you online, they're not really going to trust you. Okay, so how do you build up trust? Well, to do this, you need a way of generating leads. So to generate a lead, what I'm talking about is you have a way of getting someone to enter their name and email to receive some sort of free content, so that now that you've got their contact information, their name and email, you can follow up with them with more content to build up trust over time. So to do this, what I recommend that you do is you create one video, which I call a video sales letter, that goes through the big problem that you solve for your potential clients. And it goes through why working with you is better than some of these other options that they might have. And when people are looking to watch that video, you say, hey, to watch this video, just enter your name and email, and then I'll send you the video. And then when they enter their name and email, you can then send them the video, then they can watch the video. And if they like what they hear on the video, then they can schedule a call and work with you. And the reason this works so well is because the video is going to build up trust, so that there's a higher chance that they actually trust you and then want to actually work with you. Now, the video on its own is great, but there's still going to be people that watch the video and they still don't trust you. So what do you do instead? So now that you have their contact information, you can keep following up with them through email marketing. And that's really where you can generate a lot of business from your website. You need to have a way to follow up with your leads, the people that have shown interest in what it is that you do. You need a way to follow up with them. Now, the best part about this is that it can be automated. You don't have to manually follow up with all your leads again and again and again. You can just set it up once, forget about it, and just let the whole thing just follow up with your leads automatically in the background. Now, if you want to learn how to do this in more detail, I have a video that goes through how you can do this. And if you'd like to check that out, just go to salesappointmentsmasterclass.com. And then on that website, you can sign up for a video And this is the video that I've recorded to show you firsthand how it is that I do it so that you can do the same kind of thing. And then finally, once you've done that, you're now ready to launch your website. And that's really all it takes to build a website. Now, after you have a website up and running, there's still a few more things you can do to get more business from it. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to be proactive. So by being proactive, it means that you need to actually go out there and do things that are going to bring in more business, more clients to your website and get more people knowing what it is that you do and how you can help them. So the first way you can be proactive and actually get people to go to your website is by creating content on a regular basis. By creating content, it will enable you to start ranking higher on Google for different search terms, but it's not going to happen overnight, okay? It's going to take time for you to rank higher on Google. And in my own business, it took years to actually do this. And how long it will take you to do this depends on your competition and how much content you're actually creating. So that's the first thing to keep in mind. You need to be proactive with creating more content. But the other thing that you can do if you want to get results right now, if you actually want to get leads now without waiting for those rankings to come in, is be proactive by reaching out to people who are potential clients, who are people that are actually interested in your services. So to do that, you can use channels like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a really good one where you can find potential clients and you can go to them and say, hey, I've just created this really good video that goes through XYZ, whatever problem that you actually solve for your clients. You can say, hey, I've created this free video. Would you like to check it out? And then when people say yes, you're now generating leads a lot quicker than waiting for people to go and find your website from Google. And LinkedIn is a great way you can do that. And by using just LinkedIn on its own, you can start generating leads and appointments and clients by being proactive, by getting out there, speaking to people on a regular basis that are interested in being your client. So I would highly recommend checking out not just Google, but also checking out LinkedIn as a way for you to generate leads. Now, when it comes to doing this, again, I go through in more detail how to do this in the free masterclass training that I mentioned earlier. So if you'd like to check out how to do this in more detail, just go to salesappointmentsmasterclass.com. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.